Okay, sound should be here now. I don't know why some setting got toggled. It keeps muting me. Okay, sound. What's happening here? Come on, what's happening? Okay, great, we're here. Okay, so Susan, I need some help here because I was just searching my email and I did not have the list of questions from Lee. And so are we just going over the exercises today? Someone help me understand because I'm trying to catch up and figure out what the hell there is for these assets and I'm not seeing them and I don't, are we just gonna do just chapter 7? Oh yeah, here it is, chapter 7. Never mind. Oops. Download it. Urban Monk. Getting there. Where is it? There we go. Preview. Finally, here we go. Okay, he's on the page. So, follow-up questions from last week. Let me make sure that we're all here now. Yes, primarily go over chapter 7. Great. Okay. God. Okay. This week's questions for chapter 7. What is the consequence of not observing the Qigong rule of not eating 60 minutes prior and 30 minutes after the practice? I'm hypoglycemic and I found it very hard to observe, especially in the morning. I would say, look, you're not going to die, but it really does impact the flow of the qi. So what I would say is if you're hypoglycemic, have some form of soup or protein powder or some form of liquid caloric nourishment that isn't sugar-based, but isn't going to commit a lot of your digestive resources to breaking down this big bolus of food, because that's what like really stymies the flow of qi, and that's what kind of gets in the way. So I would say, as much as you can observe that, but if you are hypoglycemic, I would not, I wouldn't overemphasize that because you're going to take a bigger hit not taking care of your blood sugar. Do you straighten the legs and rest between stances in exercise 1 for the standing floor? Could you please demonstrate the postures? Yeah, so are we talking about, yeah, great. Chapter 7, softly gaze towards the horizon. Yeah, okay, so this is from somewhere else. But exercise 1 is the standing form and triple burner. So I can actually grab the book and do it, but let's talk kind of principle based first. Is yes, you could straighten your knees. Yes, you could kind of relax. You don't want to punish yourself. And what you really want to do in the course of these practices is allow yourself to relax in between so that the qi can flow. It's all about the free flow of energy. And so if you put yourself in a position where you're stymieing that flow, it really compromises the integrity of the practice, okay? And so there's a couple follow-up questions I'll put in here. You want to tuck your pelvis, but you don't want to tuck it all the way. So I'll have to find my video so I can make sure you guys are seeing what I'm going to show here. So I adjust there. So if I'm in a posture like so, this is my pelvis tucked out and not doing anything. So I have a big arch in my back. This is my butt being gone and my pelvis completely gone. So like this is a clenched butt. You don't want that. So what you do is you relax and you feel your perineum right down the middle, and you basically simply tuck that up a little bit and feel the weight in your legs, and then your arms kind of dangle to the sides, and then look at like my neck. I'm like, what is that? What is this guy doing this for? So then you dangle that up from heaven and drop in so that your butt doesn't stick out and your butt doesn't disappear. So literally right in the middle, feel the energy up the centers of the legs into your perineum. And as you're breathing, and I'm going to dovetail this into the other Dantian conversation here. Let me get you some more light. Bam, helps to be in a studio. Okay, so as I'm breathing in and out here, it's this line, the yin line is coming up. I feel everything flowing. And now one of the ways to feel my Dantian is as I inhale down to my lower abdomen and inflate it, what I'm going to do is I'm also going to pull my perineum up, and I'm going to push my air down and contain this area. I'm going to expand this ball back towards my back, out to the sides, and contained from underneath and pushed down by my breath. Let's try that for a second. Breathe up, contain, push down. Remember, it's 3 fingers below your navel to this area here. You want this kind of expanding and contracting of the balloon. Filling and releasing. And again, you don't want this. You don't want this, right? My butt is clenched or my butt disappears. I'm missing it. I want to dangle so that I feel like my spine is in suspension, right? I want to feel this pelvic tilt until I can just relax it a little bit. And my spine, you wiggle side to side even. So just open it up, front and back. You even dump your thumbs in here and really release anything that's holding. And side to side, twist it out. So when you're standing, you want these to kind of line up and be straight. And if they aren't, stretch it out. Open up. Open up both sides. And or some of the practices that I teach you there in the book, shake it out. Right? Feel everything open, then drop in. Okay, so this, we went through all the like Kung Fu stances. These are pretty self-explanatory, but this is my phone. What the Kung Fu stance looks like for the stances is here I am with my feet together. I'm going to open as far as I can once, twice the other way, 3 times, and then just even them out, and then I drop in. So here I'm going to, same thing, breathe down to here, in and out, lower abdomen, settle in. You should feel it here. You should also feel it in your butt. So if you're not feeling it in your butt, you need to balance your pelvis a little bit. So you are. And so we have this, and the sequencing is in the book, but you have this, this, open, out, and there's a few other ways to do it, behind your back. And you just hang here in each of these stances, breathing down here, staying focused, dropping in your breath, making sure your scapulae are back, making sure your shoulders aren't up, Tongue curled, touching the roof of the mouth, relaxing, breathing, gathering chi. You're just hanging out. It builds power. It builds chi. Your legs should be feeling it, right? Your legs are working. So you're like, oh, this is getting work. This is getting tough. Switch to the next stance. Switch to the next stance. Switch to the next stance. Wherever you're at, and then when you're ready, come out of it, shake them out a little bit. It was work. This is from Kung Fu. And then you can come into your Wu Chi, or you can come into your tree pose, hang out, and now feel the difference. Breathe and fill it up. Breathe and fill it up. Okay, so I hope that helps. Let me go back and see what the hell's going on here. Make sure you guys are even here. Where's the chat room? Penny is asking another quick question about the sequence, page 162. Should we leave some time after strenuous workout, cardio or weight training before Qigong, or does it matter? That's a great question, actually, because if you have done a really strenuous workout and you've blown out your Qi, what you want to do is just do some restorative Qigong and gather it, and then you can start moving it again. But if you feel like you're spent, then you won't have the free flow of Qi. So what I would say is just, take your, for Penny, take your right hand, put it on your navel, left hand on top, and just breathe and consolidate and gather Qi there. And guys, go left hand down, right hand on top, and do it that way. For the last question received today from Susan, I've been reluctant to do this exercise because I can't feel the white light. Also requires us to feel all the energy been fully cleared in the upper chest before moving to the next step. Any suggestions for those who don't seem to be able to feel it, both white light and the energy cleared, and facilitate the process? Yeah, the answer to that, I would say, is fake it till you make it. Continue to do the practice, and as you visualize the white light and work to see the white light, you'll be better and better at it, and you will be able to support that practice better. So don't worry about it. I mean, I'm not a very visual person, and so for me it's been a work in progress, and it's been great. When you often speak of mindfulness when doing the cloud hand set or Tai Chi Qigong, if I've zoned out, as I snap out of it, I'll do the movements again. Is that okay? It's made me do a few more reps than the cloud hand set exercises call for. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. The ideal is to be where you're at when you're there, focus on what you're doing and do it, and turn your physical practice into your spiritual practice, into your mindfulness practice, into your exercise, into your meditation, into whatever it is that you're doing. Just be present. Be that person who's the warrior in the moment. And everything else is a work in progress. I mean, it's easy to get distracted. That's what the mind does. You mentioned the Tai Chi Qigong tree pose as a way to strengthen the lower dantian. Can you tell us a bit more and demonstrate it? How much space do you leave between your hands and your chest? I'd say I'm leaving about, hold on, make sure my video is showing this. I'd say I'm leaving about a foot and change. What you want to do is you want to have your elbows anchored slightly. So you're not up like this because the chi leaks out the side. So drop your elbows and come out so that you can comfortably see your palms right in front of your chest, and then just fill it up. Feel the space between your hands and your chest. Breathe into it and feel it, and then you can even jiggle around and be like, hey, my rib cage isn't right, and just let things open up. Okay, and so this is it right here for me. Right, and I'm 5'11", so and you'll feel that difference there. Sorry, I'm going backwards on the chat thread. So Susan saying, what do you mean exactly by breathing to the lower dantian? And that is 3 fingers below your navel is that area. So inhale, inflate that area. Exhale, deflate that area. Slowly, rhythmically, in and out. Okay, I've handled these. Thanks for clarification. Very helpful. Let me go back, make sure I handled the other piece here. Is there any Qigong exercise you could? Is there any Qigong exercise that you could recommend in the evening before going to bed? Yeah. I like meditation before going to bed. I also like level 2 of the Dao Tan Pai set, which I haven't videotaped yet. So what have I taught you that you guys can do? I really like the Tai Chi Ruler level 2, which is on video DVD number 1, the yellow DVD. If you don't have that, these things are like out of print now, which has been a real pain in the ass. I'm trying to like either negotiate the rights or just redo them with the distributor, because I've had a lot of people asking for them, and we can't quite get them out to people fast enough, which has been kind of annoying. So we're trying to figure that out. One thing that I would recommend, that's a very powerful way of calming the adrenals and just kind of settling into the evening, is very simple exercise. Sit there and meditate for a bit. Take your palms, Mr. Miyagi style. I'm done with questions here, so I'm gonna go back to my video so I can see myself. Rub them together, then take the palms. Put them on the back of your kidneys like so, either seated or standing, and take 36 breaths. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna inhale right to the area where my palms are touching my back. I'm gonna exhale, I'm gonna consolidate it in there. 36 times. It actually takes a while. 36 breaths is, at least a few minutes, right? And so it's one of the hardest challenges of this one is like remembering what number you were on, because we're so quick to be distracted. And that really helps consolidate the chi back into the kidneys. And then I would say left palm down, right palm on top, thumb tips touching. Tilt this down a little bit. Sit in your meditation with your palms like so. Afterwards, tip of the tongue touching the roof of the mouth. Relax, sink into your breath, and just let your breath drop down to your lower dantian from there. It's really calming. It will really bring down the agitation that's kind of cooked into your nervous system from the day. And then one of the ways of clearing the brain before or after meditation is take your palms, put them together, put them on your temples like so, and take 5 breaths in nose and out mouth. So and you can rub your palms together, down the face, rub the palms together, take the thumbs like so, the outsides, up along the upper ridge of the eyes. Actually, I would do the face, the eyes, and then this. That's the order of the sequence. That's one of the closing sequences of the 31 exercises, kind of like the main thrust of the Dao Tan Pai. And you do it because you get so much chi rising to your head that you really need to clear it so you don't get spacey. But I found that it works really well for the Western mind and the busy Western mind, which we all have, at day's end, so that you can kind of drop back in and settle into sweet dreams, right? And downtime, and the peace that comes with silence, which is rare in our world somehow, right? Okay, I'm going to come back to the chat thread because I've pretty much covered everything on today's list, and just see if there's any kind of final thoughts here. Penny, you're welcome. What are my thoughts about practicing Tai Chi instead of or addition to Qigong? I currently take classes in both and love both, but I may ultimately want to focus on one at some point. Is it best to keep doing both? I would say, Penny, what I would say is Qigong is the energy work that primes the pump for good Tai Chi. I think Tai Chi is wonderful for both posture and balance and stamina and agility and flexibility and a lot of things. I mean, Tai Chi is just a beautiful art. You work your joints, you open up, you lubricate, you do things that kind of get the body moving. But without Qigong, you're not priming the pump and using the Tai Chi the way it should be. You can emphasize one or the other depending on how you feel. I like Qigong to keep fueling the system. I like Tai Chi as a very powerful and effective exercise that builds legs and endurance and balance and all the wonderful things that calm the mind. Look, in an ideal universe, you do, you know, everything all the time, and we all realize that we don't live in an ideal universe. So alternate or do what you feel like doing, and you know, that goes a long way. So don't disregard the way you feel, because sometimes you'll feel like you need Tai Chi and other times you feel like you need Qigong. Use them accordingly, right? Use them to support yourself and be supportive of the process of wherever you're at, because you know, it's not easy being you, right? It's not easy being any of us. So we just need to do things that are supportive, that can help us get to where we need to be at the end of any day, right? Cool. That's just, Julie asked, can you please demonstrate the closing sequence? Down face, across the upper eyes, on the forehead, in nose, out mouth. That's closing sequence. Okay, I'm a little confused where Julie asked that though. Great. Okay. Well, doesn't matter at this point. All right, guys, I'm done. I got to get home. I haven't seen my son all day. I miss that guy. And I'll see you all next week. Thank you very much. This was fun.